That night was the darkest the village had ever known. The moon hid behind thick clouds. The air was still. No cricket sang. The silence was heavy, like the whole world was holding its breath. I stood in the center of the village, the cursed anklets burning hot in my hand. Around me, the men gathered. Their faces were painted with chalk, their eyes lined in white to confuse spirits. Cowries hung from their necks. Charms rattled on their staffs. Palm leaves were pressed against their lips. Their jaws clenched, ready for the chant that would follow. Behind the men, the women locked their children inside the huts. Doors were closed. Windows were shut tight. Low voices rose from within, prayers, songs, cries to the ancestors. The children pressed against their mothers' wrappers, eyes wide with fear. The chief lifted his staff. His voice was hers, but it carried across the silent village. Tonight, we walk to the burial ground. Tonight, we end this curse. No man must break. No man must flee. The men struck their staff on the ground. Dust rose. A sound like thunder rolled through the night. And then we marched into the forest. The trees loomed, their branches twisting like the arm of spirits, miscoiled between the roots, swallowing our feet. The path glowed faintly where our chalk-marked body passed, as if the forest itself was watching. Whispers started at night. The child's giggle, sharp and strong, a woman's cry, a man's roar, all mixed together. The voices of the dead, the anklets in my hand, pulsed hotter, like fire against my palm. But this time I was not alone. The men chanted through the palm leaf at their lips, deep voices rumbling like drum, their charms rising up, their staffs pounding, their chalk-painted eyes glowing white in the dark. The shadows came, long armed, eyeless faces, crawling low from between the trees. But the chants hailed them back. Smoke rised from their bodies when the chalk light touched them. Still, they followed us, a black tide waiting for the moment we would falter. At last, we reached the stone circle. The mound of earth rose in the center, bones half hidden beneath the soil. The anklets glowed faintly atop it. The spirit child appeared, her eyes burned like fire, her torn wrappers floating in the wind that was not there. Behind her, a hollow figure gathered, men, women, children, with twisted body and empty faces. The forest shook, the ground split beneath us. The men grappled their staffs tighter, voices rising louder. But even I could feel fear creeping in. Then she came. From the edge of the cycle, bent the old, her wrapper tied around her chest. Her hair was white, her face lined, but her eyes carried the same sorrow I had seen in the child's spirit. It was the old woman from the first night, the one who had grabbed my arm and told me to hide. She fell to her knee before the glowing child, tears falling down from her eyes. Her voice broke as she cried out, "My daughter, forgive us." The forest froze. The child's spirit tittled her head. The old woman struck her chest, wailing, "They forced me. I was weak. I could not save you. Forgive me. Child, forgive your mother." The men lowered their head. Even the shadows paused. Their twisted faces turned towards the mount. For the first time, the child's spirit face softened. The glow in her eyes dimmed. She stepped closer to the old woman. Reaching out a small, trembling hand, the old woman took it. And when their hand touched, the forest roared like thunder. The mound cracked open. Light burned from the soil. The anklets shattered into pieces, glowing bits scattering like stars. The shadows screamed, writhing, melting into smoke. The trees shook. Branches snapped, mist raising higher, but the child's spirit stood calm. her hands in her mother's. She looked at me. Her voice came soft like the wind through glass. It is done. The curse is broken. She turned to the village men. I will not harm you. I will bless this land. But remember me. Remember what was done. Never again. Her glow grew brighter still until we had to shield our eyes. And then in a flash of light, she was gone. The forest went silent. When we stumbled out at once, the village was waiting. Women rushing from their huts, children in their arms, tears trembling down their faces. The men held their staffs high. The chief fell to his knee, pressing his forehead to the ground. The land changed that very day. The soil grew richer, greener than before. Yams swollen large in the earth. Palm tree bent low with heavy fruit. Goats birthed healthy kids. Streams ran full even when the sun burned hot. The curse was gone and the blessing was stronger than ever. The villagers gave me land, wide land, rich land. They gave me goats and barns of yams. They gave me a wife, a woman with bright eyes and strong hands. I built a home among them. Season passed, my field grew so vast that I fed not only my village but the villagers around us. Even when drought struck, when other villages starved, food come from our land. People call me the wealthiest man of the region, but I knew the truth. It was not me, it was her. The spirit child had forgiven us. She had blessed us. She had given me a place among her people. And yet some nights, when the wind is very still, I hear it, a child's laughter, soft in the distance. But it no longer chills my blood. It reminds me of a promise that as long as we remember her, she will guard this land and no curse will ever return.